Hello there friends, Siuhy News Live here. In today's video, teams are looking to buy out Siuhy. Siuhy is officially back and he even played his first game. Blade said that NaVi will have roster changes and the first playoff matches of Blast. Plus a bunch of other exciting news from the world of CS2, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. And let's kick things off with some roster updates, and this time it's Team Liquid. First up, they decided to part ways with their coach, mithR. This wasn't exactly a surprise, honestly, especially considering all the recent roster changes. Under his leadership, Liquid went through Cadian, Skulls and Zeus, which ultimately left the team in a rough spot. For now, their analyst, mithR, will be stepping as the new head coach. As Liquid state themselves, they are still looking for options, which means mithR will be kicked as soon as they find the new coach, most likely. Speaking of roster moves, we had to talk about the failed Gentlemates plus Siuhy plus 3D Max trio. Turns out the plan didn't work out because the French locked in their players on long-term contracts, making it impossible for them to switch teams so easily. So yeah, 3D Max are just staying with 3D Max, while Gentlemates will have to wait some more. For context, their last event was ESL Pro League Season 21, where they finished on the 9th-11th place. Even though the Gentlemates roster deal fell through, there is still a high chance that we will see Siuhy back on the pro scene soon, this time with Team Liquid. So according to HLTV, Siuhy is expected to join Liquid as their new IGL. Insiders report that he will be replacing Jkaem, which would allow Twists to go back to his usual roles. Some see this as a great chance for Siuhy to return to the Tier 1, but others think that he should wait until the major ends for potential deals with NaVi, G2 or FACEIT, for example, as the teams might be looking for a new IGL. And if Siuhy joins Liquid now, he could miss out the new opportunities that can happen, and potential trophies as well. Surely that's just one opinion, and as always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. For example, I honestly think that Siuhy should wait a little until the major ends, but, well, he could do whatever he wants. Speaking of roster moves, we will talk about Fnatic's new addition, Jambo. Turns out he was the most expensive signing in Fnatic's history. According to HLTV's Striker, Fnatic paid the same amount for Jambo as G2 paid for m0NESY, slightly around $600,000. This has raised some eyebrows, especially from Overdrive, who questioned why Fnatic would even spend so much money and still have a roster ranked 38th in the world. However, my friends, since signing Jambo, they've already won 3 out of 4 matches, with him consistently leading the leaderboards, out-fragging and having great KDs. So maybe Fnatic knew what they were doing after all. Plus, he's playing with Fear, who is his ex-teammate, so the chemistry is there. And to wrap up the roster news, we will talk about Siuhy, because he's finally officially back. He has joined Wildcard, and the move is no coincidence. It's meant to take advantage of Valve's regional ranking system. Stu replaces Fuzi in the lineup, which means Wildcard now has 3 North American players. This ensures that they keep their spot in NA qualifiers instead of being forced to play in Europe, where the competition is obviously a much tougher thing. Of course, Stu is still just adjusting to his new team, which has impacted his stats. In the last match, he finished with a 0.88 rating, but luckily his teammates carried, so his form didn't hurt the team too much. Guys, honestly, here comes my opinion. I think that Siuhy will leave Wildcard as soon as they reach the major and fail there. I mean, with all due respect, but Siuhy is not even close to be a major player. Still, he can become one if he wants to. Anyways, the time will tell. Since we're on the topic of Valve, they've once again updated tournament regulations. From now on, tournament organizers must announce exact event dates and team arrival schedules. These changes meant to prevent situations like IM Dallas and PGL Astana, where scheduling issues caused some problems. As you know, ESL has stated that they will fine some teams, as we told in the previous video. And on top of that, Valve said that media day absences will no longer result in penalties. So I guess Valve can react and move quickly if they want to. And also guys, remember when we mentioned that ESL renamed the Intel Grand Slam to ESL Grand Slam? After the community started asking questions, Dust2.us even reached to ESL for clarification. At first, they just ignored, but eventually ESL responded. 7 years ago, Intel helped us to start the Grand Slam. Now, beginning with ESL Pro League Season 21, it will continue as the ESL Grand Slam, which is what we have been talking about on this channel for a long time, because Intel have some serious financial troubles. So a spare $1 million is not what they can afford. While this was going on, Thorin suggested that Valve should take over and establish an official version of the Grand Slam to settle the debate once and for all. And honestly, that's a great take from Thorin, but I really doubt that Valve will do anything. Now, my friends, let's talk about one of the biggest community scandals lately. Jkaem refused to return borrowed money, I mean skins. Nevertheless, turns out he lost a lot of skins on gambling websites. And here's the kicker, he borrowed over $10,000 worth of skins from multiple traders before just disappearing. After the story broke, Jkaem deleted his Twitter account. But before that, one of the traders leaked their DMs, where Jkaem admitted to gambling away the skins and promising to pay back even more than he owed as compensation for the delay. Even Stiko commented on the situation, calling it terrible, but also pointing out that way too many players have fallen into gambling addiction. And I honestly couldn't agree more. Guys, gamble please, very responsibly. It's a tricky thing. Anyways, unlike Jkaem, we didn't delete our Twitter, so go check it out for more CS2 updates. The link, as always, is in the description. And my friends, one last thing before we jump to recaps. Here's a quick update from FACEIT. So, starting from the 1st of April, they will introduce a new ranking system. From now on, new players will get a FACEIT level based on their CS2 Premier rank. The highest possible is level 7, which is equivalent to 18,000 points of Premier ELO. From there, players will have to grind their way to level 10. Is this a good idea, friends? Tell your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's finally dive into the first play of matches of Blast Open Lisbon, and things got interesting right away, because G2 were facing off against Mouz. Right from the start, the crowd was making their presence known, shouting out hints during rounds.
Starts to unload his mag, does find heavy guard the smoke.
So obviously, to prevent any issues, Blast decided to just disable all the X-ray on the arena screens after the first round. So the first half was a neck-and-neck battle, with both teams trading rounds evenly. At halftime, it was a tie, classic 6-6. But once sides switched, G2 completely fell apart. Mouz's attack was unstoppable, and Brolin even pulled off a quadro to seal the deal on map 1. Next up was Nuke, Mouz's pick, and things went from bad to worse for G2. The turning point was when Brolin clutched a crucial 1v4 at 3-7. This thing completely broke G2's momentum. From that moment on, they didn't win a single round. And with that brutal performance, G2 were sent home. Post-match reactions weren't reassuring either. Snacks admitted that not everyone was following the plan, while Monacy straight up said he had no idea how they even made it to the playoffs with that level of play. So maybe the key to success isn't just having a top-tier fragger, but actually playing as a team? I don't know, guys, maybe we should ask Nico and Falcons. No offense, bros. Anyways, now is the best time to make some changes for G2 if they want to get prepared for the Austin Major, or they can still wait and see what happens in America. But if they have no success there, the changes will be inevitable and probably rough. Next up was NaVi versus Team Spirit, but before we get into the matches, let's talk about what Blades said beforehand, and it's kinda important. If we don't make it to the quarterfinals, we will consider some roster changes. So with this quote in mind, let's see how it went down. Map 1, Dust 2, Spirit's pick, and they dominated right from the start. NaVi only managed to win their first proper round at 7-1, and at halftime the score was already 8-4 in Spirit's favor. The second half was worse for NaVi because they had no answers. Spirit just closed the map with ease. Then came Anubis, where many expected NaVi to step up. Instead, they struggled again. If it wasn't for Alexi B's 1v2 clutch, NaVi would have been dishonored in this game, because the first half ended 8-4, in favor of Spirit obviously. And after the side switch, things only went downhill for NaVi. They collapsed and lost it 6-13. After the game, Shiro said Spirit were used to playing in a stadium full of haters and crowd hens, so they were completely calm and just did their job. Meanwhile, the legendary Zeus believes that NaVi's problem isn't their skill, it's their mindset. He says that they just lost their fire and desire to compete, which is why losses like this keep happening. Guys, what do you think NaVi should do? What is their problem? I mean, everything worked just half a year ago and now it's Jover. Don't forget to drop your suggestions in the comments below. And that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and follow our channel. And hit the notification bell as well. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.